Okay, so what if I told you there's an investment strategy out there that tells you to buy just one thing and then never ever sell it? Today, we're diving into a pretty radical and, let's be honest, controversial philosophy that pretty much challenges everything you might have learned about investing.
And right there, that single statement, that's the bedrock, the absolute heart of this entire philosophy. It's a really provocative idea, right? It immediately goes against all the conventional wisdom about taking profits or cutting your losses. All right, let's break down this first pillar, the never sell rule. And look, this isn't just about holding on for the long term. We're talking about a commitment to permanent ownership. This way of thinking completely throws out the idea of taking profits or selling when things go south.
The logic behind this rule is actually deceptively simple. The source argues that the very act of selling implies you made a mistake somewhere. I mean, think about it. Either you were wrong to buy it in the first place, or you're wrong to be selling it now. If you truly believe in an asset, you hold on. Forever.
This quote just perfectly captures the incredibly long-term perspective of this whole thing. You're not just buying a stock. You are literally betting on the entire future of human progress. Your financial fate becomes completely tied to the long-term growth of the economy. No exit. So if you're never going to sell, then the question of what to actually buy becomes absolutely critical, right? Well, this philosophy has a surprisingly simple and some might even say dangerously narrow answer to that. And that's it. That's the whole instruction. The entire investment strategy can be boiled down to just that one sentence. Forget everything you've heard about diversification. This philosophy says you put all your eggs in one basket, the Nasdaq-100. Wow, this quote really highlights the unwavering, absolute conviction behind this strategy. It's not a gentle suggestion, it's a command. The source basically presents the Nasdaq-100 as the one and only valid investment, dismissing everything else as a potential disaster. Now, you're probably wondering, why such a radical departure from all the mainstream advice? Well, the answer really lies in a deep, profound distrust of the entire financial industry. So the source paints this really bleak picture of the whole financial advice process. As you can see here, it starts with these buzzwords like asset allocation, but according to this view, that's just the bait. That leads you to step 2, a financial advisor, who in this telling lures you into a trap, a web of fees and complicated products that basically keeps you a laborer forever. This philosophy really demands a kind of radical isolation. It's not just about tuning out some of the noise. It's about building a fortress around your strategy, protecting it from any and all outside influence. And this intense skepticism about the financial world, it's really just one piece of a much larger and, you could say, a harsher worldview. It's a philosophy built on extreme personal responsibility, and that's what we're going to get into next. Okay, so this is the raw, unfiltered core of this philosophy. It's a starkly individualistic view that puts the full burden of financial knowledge squarely on you, the individual. In this world, there are no excuses. There are no safety nets. Now, the source controversially illustrates this point by contrasting two different mindsets. On the left, you've got what's described as a victim mentality, where you expect the police or the government to get your money back, and on the right, you have the self-reliant mindset. This is where you accept that it's on you, and you understand that the courts are there for justice, not for financial recovery. And this quote from a U.S. judge, which the source brings up, just perfectly encapsulates that self-reliant mindset. The legal system's job is to enforce the law, not to bail you out of your financial mistakes. The responsibility ultimately is yours and yours alone. So, at the end of the day, the final question is kind of unavoidable, isn't it? Is this whole philosophy a brilliant, disciplined path to financial freedom, one that's built on a foundation of absolute accountability? Or is it just a reckless, high-stakes gamble with absolutely no safety net? The answer, much like the philosophy itself, is definitely not for the faint of heart.